Caffeine and Coils, and I'm Deanna.
And I'm Jenny. All right, tell me something good.
I did a cold plunge this morning, and I did my coldest plunge ever the other day, and it was 28 degrees. The water was 28 degrees. The air was like 14 degrees.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so remind me the benefits of this.
Well, it helps you with focus, dopamine. It helps just kind of with your mental toughness. So, you know how like sometimes you don't want to do something, but you have to make yourself do it. It kind of helps strengthen your ability to do things that are difficult.
It sounds like an extreme case of torture, self-inflicted.
It's not
but
that bad.
I'm over here like I just got a towel warmer, and now like when I get out of the shower, my towels are nice and toasty.
Afterwards, you feel energized. You just feel ready to take on the world. I get better sleep when I'm doing it.
Okay, I can get on board with the better sleep thing.
Yeah.
You tell me that anything's gonna like give me better sleep, I'm for it. I'm gonna work out so I can get a good night's sleep. I feel like that's already wearing off though. Maybe I need to add in cold plunging.
Yeah. And it'll help with your muscle soreness too. It helps with like muscle recovery and stuff like that.
Okay, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have a very interesting and exciting hot topic today.
What is it?
Insulation and how it affects energy efficiency. So we're going to talk all about different R values and different types of insulation and all that kind of fun stuff.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. What is insulation meant to do?
Basically, it's supposed to, I'm assuming, like kind of, if it's in the winter, it's keeping the hot air inside your house. And if it's summer, it's kind of keeping the cold air / the hot air out.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so according to this definition, insulation works by trapping tiny pockets of air to slow down the movement of heat out of the house in the winter and into the house in summer. So basically, yes, you're keeping the hot air in the winter and then the hot air out in the summer. So
Sweet.
The better your insulation, the hotter your house is going to stay or not stay, depending on the season. 90% of single-family homes in the U.S. are under-insulated. Did you know that? So chances are good that we both live in a house that is likely under-insulated.
That's not too surprising, I guess.
I'm not that surprised either because I feel like as insulation ages, it just doesn't work. Or like we have a house that was built in the 70s and 100%, we did add insulation to it because 100% it was like, it kind of just starts to disintegrate and you can tell when it's not working. Like the floors would be super cold and the house itself was just drafty. And, it's like, ugh, we got to do something about this. But homes built prior to 1960 are particularly vulnerable. I'm assuming, I don't have a real good reason why, but I'm assuming that the technology and like what we knew about insulation has progressed. And so it's probably a big jump from 1960 to now. The best way to determine if your insulation is up to par is to evaluate your existing insulation, its type and thickness, to compare its R value to the U.S. Department of Energy's recommendation for your location. So, since we're in the Southeast, most of our territory falls into a 3. So, like if you're in the large part of Georgia and almost all of Alabama, we're considered in the zone 3. Now, if you're in the mountains of Georgia, like very, very top of the state, they're a 4, and then some places in Florida are a 1 because they just don't have the weather swings that we do. But
it's so hot there.
It is hot. Yeah, it is hot. So they still need it, but I don't know. That's just what the Department of Energy recommends is that theirs is like a 1, and then we're 2 and 3, and then there's like a piece of Georgia that's 4.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Florida's a 2, and we're a 3 and a 4. A little bit of a 4. So let's talk about R values. An R value tells you how well a type of insulation can keep heat from leaving or entering your home. Insulation R values vary based on the type, thickness, and density of the insulation material. Typically, a higher insulation R rating means better climate control and better energy efficiency for your home. A higher insulation R value usually has a higher price point as well. So, according to Home Depot, thank you, Home Depot, here are the insulation methods from lowest to highest average R value per inch. So, blown in or loose fill insulation blankets like in bats and rolls. I'm sure you've seen those. And then spray foam insulation. I love to watch those videos. Have you ever watched the videos, like the reels of them spraying it? Because it's like, it kind of looks like this spray foam like insulation in the can. It's kind of a similar thing where it like goes and it expands. It's so satisfying.
So is that how you add insulation? Like if I wanted to add insulation to my home, would I use that? Or would I just change out what I have? Or
I think it depends on... I think it depends on what you have. So I guess if you already have spray in, you could probably add to it. I don't think you would need to, though, because I feel like it is more durable. Mm-hmm. But, like, we have blown-in insulation. So typically they come and they just blow more in. Whenever we were getting quotes for, like, insulation at the old house, I was like, well, this is just really old. Can't you take it out? Like, can't you just suck it all out and then blow, like, all new in? And they were like, no, it really doesn't make sense to do that, like labor-wise and things. Like, it's better to just cover right over it.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought was interesting because I'm just like, I don't know. As a homeowner, I'm like, isn't it dirty? Like, does it need to be replaced? But apparently it's fine to leave it up there. So, and then foam board insulation is the last one. And your home doesn't necessarily need the highest R value insulation. The R value of your insulation needs to depend on your local climate. So like we talked about, looking at the map and figuring out which region you're in and what correlates to that region and what's appropriate. All right, let's talk about the different types of insulation and what the materials are. So insulation materials used could be fiberglass insulation, and the advantages of that are it can be made from recycled glass, reducing the demand for new raw materials. Durable and resistant to fire and pests, which is important when you're talking about the attic, if you've ever had any pests in your attic. And then it doesn't emit harmful gases after installation.
Okay, yeah, that sounds important. I'm sure there's the IAQ issues.
Oh, yeah.
Some of those.
We should get Bob back in here to tell us why we shouldn't have certain types of insulation and monitor, like put a IAQ monitor in our attic. Spray foam insulation, which we talked about earlier, and the advantages of those is provides superior insulation, reducing energy consumption, and maximizing carbon emissions. It can help lower your electricity bills, making it cost effective in the long run. So I think that's one of the ones that's a little bit more expensive, but it's supposed to help you're supposed to kind of break even once you see a time period of those electricity savings. All right, this one was an interesting one when I was doing this research. Natural insulation materials. For those seeking a greener alternative, natural insulation materials offer a sustainable solution. Some commonly used natural insulation materials include cotton, made from recycled denim. Cotton insulation is a renewable and recyclable option. Wool. Wool insulation is naturally fire resistant, biodegradable, and has excellent thermal and sound insulation properties. Cellulose, made from recycled paper. Cellulose insulation minimizes waste and reduces carbon emissions. Isn't that interesting?
So I can just take all of my old jeans and just lay them up in my attic, and it'll help with the insulation.
Imagine. Okay, so just imagine the next time you come, you get somebody else to service your unit, and they go up in the attic, and all they see is like a sea of jeans. I mean, it's kind of not a bad idea, though, because, how many pairs of jeans get thrown away each year?
Yeah.
And we just
instead of throwing them away, just put them in your attic.
Yeah. There you go. And there you go. Keep you warm and cozy.
Yeah.
I imagine that doesn't deter pests very well, though.
Yeah, probably not. Mice would probably love to, kind of nest up in those denim jeans.
Yeah, probably. Or something. Or squirrels,
Well, that's why you get a
birds,
cat.
like Steven talked about. That's why you get a cat. I love it. Okay, so insulation ratings can be improved by adding more layers of insulation. You can mix the type and material of insulation too. Okay, so there you go. There you have it. you can mix the types of insulation, which
Okay.
I didn't know that until now. For example, if your attic already has fiberglass insulation blankets installed, you can improve its R value by installing blown-in cellulose insulation on top of the blankets. The R values of both insulations will accumulate. You can achieve better thermal performance in your attic by adding additional layers of insulation. So if you have one that's like an R8 and then you add an R3, then you have like R11. So I guess interesting. Okay, let's see what else we've got. The R value of both, oh wait, hold on. So there's different areas in your house that you can insulate. One is your crawl spaces. Next to attics and exterior walls, crawl spaces and basements have the most potential for heat transfer. Be sure these areas are also adequately insulated. So we're not on a crawl space where I'm at now or a basement, but in the old house, the crawl space, like I said, the floors were really cold, and that is like the worst thing. The fact that they have heated floors now is like the best thing ever, and I can't wait until I can afford to install that in my house.
I know, because I do like having hard floors in my house
Yeah.
because I don't like carpet, but it does get cold, so I'm usually wearing socks or slippers or something like that.
Yeah, I think when you have pets and stuff, it's important. The hard floors are important, but I definitely do not like the feel of them. Especially like all of our bedrooms have carpet because I cannot stand putting my feet down in the morning on cold floor.
It'll wake you up.
No, I'm not
It'll
on the
energize
same.
you. That's your stair stepper into cold plunging.
I'm not on the same journey as you. I want to be
On the
warm.
same
Like
journey.
I want to be warm all the time. I want like the top layer of skin to be burned off of me in my shower.
I do feel the same way, but I think getting acclimated to the cold in that way like helps you deal with like being cold better, if that makes sense.
Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it because I'm probably never gonna be a cold plunger. But
You know what? I'm gonna set up a cold plunge booth at the dealer meeting.
oh my gosh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is going to be your garage. Better temperature control in your garage means you can safely store more items and protect your car from overly hot or cold temperatures. So this is a new thing. I don't know if you have if in the new construction homes, they're doing a lot more insulated garage doors, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Especially like there's certain scenarios, especially people with electric cars and different things like that. It's better to keep your car warmer. It helps with your 12-volt batteries in your gas cars too, kind of save the life of those. So yeah. And if you're anything like us, like we typically tend to use our garage for like entertainment and things like, just hanging out. Like there's a TV out there and the kids can play outside. So we use the garage a lot. So it makes a lot of sense to insulate it, to have that extra space for entertainment or whatever.
Yeah.
Or some people use it for their gym and stuff too. And that leads to our next one, our hot water heater, or water heater and water pipes. So our water heater is in the garage as well. And then adding the insulation to your water heater can reduce standby heat losses by 25 to 45%, which in turn reduces your energy bills. And wrapping water pipes in tubular insulation will also help reduce loss in water heat, which is good to know. Also, will keep them from freezing.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to take care of things like that to help with the longevity of it.
All right, so now let's talk about the importance of insulation. So obviously, we've talked a lot about energy efficiency and energy consumption and all of those things. So the number one is energy efficiency.
Right.
Reducing that electric bill, I'm for it. The second one, Bob would be proud of us, is improved air quality. Insulation helps create a tight building envelope, preventing the entry of outdoor pollutants such as dust, pollen, and other allergies, promoting healthier indoor air quality.
Okay, that makes sense. But also, I thought one of the ways you could improve your air quality was to get more airflow.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of a double-edged sword. So we need to get airflow to get some of the things that we utilize out. So when we're cooking and we're creating those indoor pollutants, or we're burning a candle or things like that, or some of the chemicals we use in our house on a regular basis, laundry detergent, things like that, we need a way to get those out. But we also want to keep out like pollen and dust and all that, especially like think about in the spring where we live. We have all these pine trees, and it's like, I mean, you just see like a just cloud of pollen, and you're like, oh man, I'm going to feel so bad like in 5 minutes from now when that reaches me. So we want to keep all that out of our house, but we want to get the bad out and keep the good in. That's the challenge of indoor air quality.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is reduce carbon footprint. By reducing energy consumption, insulation helps lower carbon dioxide emissions, a significant contributor to climate change.
Okay.
And then this one is one of my favorites. Noise reduction. If you have little kids, especially little boys, noise is like constant at my house.
That is why I have cats.
Well, I have dogs, and so they contribute to noise pollution in my home
You've got a triple threat.
I do. I really do have a triple threat, and they're both small dogs, and it's like, oh my gosh, I love my small dogs because historically I've had big dogs, but they bark a lot more than big dogs. So noise reduction, insulation materials have a sound absorbing properties, minimizing noise transmission out from outside and between different areas of a building, creating a more peaceful and productive environment. And then lastly, enhanced durability. Insulation acts as a barrier against moisture, preventing condensation, which can lead to structural damage and the growth of mold and mildew. That's one that I didn't think about.
Yeah.
But that's a really important one in our house.
Yeah, because again, that's also kind of ties into air quality, right?
Yes. Yes. We don't want to be breathing in mold or mildew or anything like that. And it's really destructive for your home too. So that's another. Okay, so the EPA estimates that the average homeowner can save 15% on heating and cooling costs, 11% of total energy costs by adding insulation in attics, crawl spaces, and basement rim joists. For most folks, that's about $200 in savings per year. In colder parts of the country, like climate zones 6 and 7, savings increases up to 20%. With the average cost of most insulation types hovering around 20 to 50 cents per square foot, you can do the math to understand the savings you'd see over the time upgrading your home's insulation. So that's an important consideration, like which zone you live in, what type you want to install, and how much it costs, and how much energy savings you'll see over the course of however long you plan to live there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so for our fun game today,
we're going to do tongue twisters.
Okay, tell us how to play this game because I feel like I don't quite understand it.
So I'm going to send you a tongue twister, and you're just going to try to say it as fast as you can.
Okay.
And I'm sending it to you now so that you couldn't practice it before we got on the air.
First of all, I feel like we always choose the hardest games for me because if you know me, you know that I don't read lips well. Like, I do not read lips well. So we always choose these games that are so hard.
It's fun, though. Okay, ready?
Okay.
I want to send you one.
Are you texting it to me? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. This looks so hard. Okay. Frivolously, fanciful, fanny fried, fresh fish furiously.
Okay, you did good. You
Start
did good.
strong. Okay. I'm going to send you mine. Okay, this is...
If a dog chews shoes, whose shoes does he choose?
Oh.
Okay, those are good. Those are good
Those are
warm-ups.
good ones, yeah. I'm starting with my easy ones, too. I feel like we probably both are.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. I'm having technical difficulties here.
Okay, I saw a kitten eating chicken in the kitchen. Okay, that's a good one. All right, you ready?
Yeah. Give Papa a cup of proper coffee and a copper coffee cup. Okay, this one's gonna be good. You're gonna.
Okay.
It's long.
Okay. I wish to wish the wish you wish to wish, but if you wish the witch wishes, I won't wish the wish you wish to wish. Okay. I don't even know if I did that one right. Where did you even find these? Like,
Google.
it's so funny. Like, our search history is going to be like somebody in IT right now is scratching their head, being like, "What are they doing?"
If one of us goes missing and they start looking through our text conversations, the FBI, they're going to be like, "What were they talking about?"
Yeah, our secret FBI agent right now is like, "What is happening?"
How much ground would a groundhog hog if a groundhog could hog ground? A groundhog would hog all the ground he could hog if a groundhog could hog ground.
Oh my
wow,
gosh.
that was perfect.
You did great on that one.
Chef's kiss.
Okay, let's see. 1-1 was a racehorse. 2-2 was a 1-2. 1-1-1-1 race. 2-2-1-1-2. Okay, the funny thing is that that's grammatically correct. There's just like the same words that are spelled differently and have different meanings. Okay, I'm having technical difficulties now here too. Okay. This one I feel like you're going to get, but it's funny. It's probably not grammatically correct.
A skunk sat on a stump and thunk the stump stunk, but the stump thunk the stump thunk the skunk stunk. You know what? I kind of like skunk smell. Like, I kind of like it when I'm driving around and then I kind of get that little whiff.
Oh my gosh.
Dead skunk.
We can't be friends anymore.
Okay, this one is actually, it might get us in trouble, but.
Okay, I saw this one and avoided it. I was like, oh, Legal would not be happy about that.
Better wet those lips before you start this one.
Okay. I slit the sheet. The sheet I slit. And on this slitted sheet I sit.
Yes, you did perfect. Okay, one more.
No legal trouble for us. Okay, this one's the hardest and the last one that I have.
This is a classic. She sells seashells by the seashore. The shells she sells are seashells, I'm sure. So if she sells seashells on the seashore, then I'm sure she sells seashore shells.
Perfect.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, not terrible. That one was a difficult one.
Okay, well, that's it for this episode. We'll catch you next time. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.